Hearing none? Thank you, sir.
It's Tuesday night, I'm turning my phone on. Remind me to turn it on.
Did you sign up for the million? Oh, feel like a million?
Oh, yeah. I think well, no, see, I don't get these. Yeah, Lynn, talk me in. We'll go.
Call the doctor.
Yes, when I convened at 6:30, we just closed, just to back up a little bit, we closed our closed session. No decisions were made, and we continue. And we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Kim? For the Pledge of Allegiance, I want to thank Mr. Kim. Thank you very much. Thank my colleagues for being here, and the administration, Dr. Loza. Your team is tight. Good. Okay. The next item after the Pledge of Allegiance, we're going to have adopt the agenda. But before we do that, I want to add some changes to it. Okay. Do you want to do that, Dr. Loza? Just announce it? That's right. The two items. That's item
We
number
have
3.
two changes in the agenda. Change number 1, consent item 3. Resignation regarding, if you see the name, the one before last, it reads Lilia Manso. Her job title is not HACCP. It is Food Service Assistant 1. That's the first change. The second change is action items A1. It's a resolution. And in the resolution itself, at the end of the page, instead of saying resolution 2013-14, should say 2014-15. Okay. Those are the two changes.
The agenda still stands with the two changes.
A1.
A1.
If you see the resolution itself, at the end of the page, it's supposed to say 2014-15, and then say 2013-14.
Got it? Got it? Okay. Okay. As the agenda moves forward, closed session report. I want a motion to adopt the agenda and a second on this one. Have a discussion if needed. So moved by Ms. Barnes.
Second.
Second by Mr. Kim. Okay. Any discussion? On the agenda? With the changes, yes, sir. Okay. Okay, call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any nays? Say none. Next item, please. Number C, report action taken closed session. Like I mentioned earlier, on the line a little bit, but at the same time, there were no major decisions, just information flowing to the board as needed, and at the same time, come here to the open session. Okay. Public hearings. Moving to public hearings, this is a public hearing on sufficiency of instructional materials compliance. We just opened it at this point, the item. Do we have a comment? Saying none, close. Public? Any comments on the site? Saying none?
Just
I don't hear
open?
any.
On anything?
No. The item is sufficiency of instructional material compliance. Public hearing. Okay, say none, so closed. Next item is a public hearing as well. Tentative agreement with Salinas Elementary Teacher Council. Any comments? Public hearing, say none. We close the public hearing. Next item, open public hearing titled Tentative Agreement with California School Employees Association, Chapter 149. Any comment? I hear no comments, no one stepping up. Okay, we'll close the hearing. The next item, number 6, communications and presentations. Okay, acknowledgements, please.
Yes, Mr. President, we have some acknowledgement. Principal from Camin School, Leticia Garcia. Welcome, Mrs. Garcia.
Thank you. So this evening, I have the pleasure of honoring a very important group of individuals. These individuals form part of Camin School Site Council. The School Site Council is composed of teachers, parents, and classified staff. Camin School elections were held the second week of school, and I present to you the Camin School Site Council members. Oh, they're here. Kathy Graff. Alfonso Rincón. Darlene Aviles. Okay. Karina Yanez. How about Guillermo Hernandez? Nope, I don't see him either. Christina Morales. Nope, okay. Magdalena Mosqueda. You here? No. Okay, how about Griselda Ortiz? I saw her. Yes. Kirk Golardi. How about Becky McDill? Are you here? How about Laura Soria? Laura, you're in Sierra. She's not here. And I think that was it. I already called Darlene Aviles, right? Okay. I present to you School Site Council from Camin School.
Thank you very much. That was fantastic. That's a fantastic team of yours, correct?
No, it is.
Okay, next item is employee.
Say what, Mr. President? We do have another special acknowledgement from University Park. Mr. Lee.
This wonderful young lady here, her name is Loza.
We celebrate all the wonderful academics that our kids do within school. But one of the things I wanted to celebrate with her is the recognition of a good deed that she did outside. Okay, and I'm going to read you kind of the letter that the Salinas Fire Department acknowledged her. On August 3rd, 2014, Trista Blanco was traveling past the rodeo grounds when she noticed a woman lying down on the ground unresponsive. Trista and her mother approached the woman to check to see if she was okay. After getting a good look, Trista decided the woman was not okay and called 911. Trista and her mother stayed with the woman until Salinas Fire Engine 5312 arrived on the scene. The Salinas Fire Department would like to thank Trista for being aware of her surroundings, checking on the well-being of others, and doing the right thing by calling for help. In this case, it was 911.
Thank you.
Thank you for being aware.
Extra points on community service.
Congratulations.
Good job, thank you very much.
See what we produce, we send out.
We're going to employee organizations, please. One at a time.
Thank you, board members, Dr. Loza. Not too much to report tonight, but I did want to say that teachers are pleased with having options for our professional development day on Friday. Instead of being kind of one size fits all, we're being able to make some choices, something that's maybe resonating with us at the time and something we're interested in and or we feel as if compelled to do more. I will say teachers are a little concerned about the charter school that's petitioning Salinas City School District. And they're also concerned about the computer tests. They're kind of worried about, you know, if that happens again, will we have our computers replaced and all those kind of things. I haven't talked to Lincoln or Roosevelt teachers, but I've talked to, you know, other teachers have kind of talked to me about it. So there is concern about those. I will say that Lincoln, one of the Lincoln teachers reported to me that they still are missing some materials, some teachers' editions. I don't know if those are on back order. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but they asked me to say that tonight, and so I am for them. And my last thing is, this is more about the consent agenda, but I'm going to address it here. Again, in the consent agenda, we have many contracts that have already begun. I'm looking at one here. Services began August 11th, almost a month ago, and yet the board is now approving the contract. There's quite a few of these. This one, the person that we've contracted with signed June 3rd. It's being brought to the board now. Here's one, another August 11th. This one says July 1st. So I'm concerned, we are concerned about things coming in a timely manner and coming to the board. And it seems, I mean, I've brought this up before, but for there to be already services started and the board hasn't even okayed it, it seems like either you're expected to just okay everything, which shouldn't be, or you know something's happening here and that's not right. I also want to say that on these contracts, on our district page, contract for services, district signatures towards the lower right says 4 signatures required, and almost none of them
have that fourth signature. This was the same, some of these issues were the same in last month's packet. I didn't bring it up, you had a full agenda that time, and so I didn't bring it up, but this is the second month where there are really some poor procedures, and I wanted to bring that to the board's attention, and I'm hoping some of that can be cleaned up. And so that was it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you again. CSEA, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay, I would like to report on August 21st, CSEA had a welcome back social event, and we had 95 members that showed up, which was a full house. Also, we'd also like to thank the district for posting 95 jobs for classified during December till now. So, thank you, Matt, and the district. That's all I have to report today. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Substitute teachers? Unit? Saying none? Okay. Any time? No. Okay. Next item is the superintendent's update.
Okay, Board of Trustees, you will know, and the community, I would like to inform, yes, it is already advertised. We do have tomorrow special board meetings. As required by the law, we need to listen the presentation of charter schools. It's going to be tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Another thing, yes, Carol, following your comment, we do have a very diverse professional development. I'm happy to say that so far we have 330 teachers signing, which is, the number is very, very high compared with other school years, where many of our colleagues take vacation on non-working days. But this is we're very pleased to see how great participation for certificated and classified person we will have this Friday. And I would like to inform that last week, mandated by the State Board of Education, 7 school districts were selected to give report in the LCAP implementation. And last week, the commission came to the district and interviewed parents, board members, union people, teachers, administrators, and it's a very good news to see Salinas City Elementary School District as one of the 7 school districts selected in the state.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to everybody, to the entire community. Thank you.
Anything else? Nothing else? Okay, board members, let's go over to my right. Start from that end of the table. Mr. Nick.
Nothing today?
Good.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I also share your concern over our security of our technology. And I just wonder if there's any plans afoot to increase our security. I remember a long time ago at Los Padres when they put in portables, they strung wires across there and said security, but they weren't hooked up. So it never worked. And I just, I hope the new ones that are in place now have better security. And I hope it increases. Let's see. And as far as those contracts, I think we're just being asked if it's okay to pay for services rendered. I think that's in our package. So it's not that we're okaying a contract to do that work.
It's contract for the next year, sorry.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Barnes.
I have a couple of things.
First, I wanted to talk about the Williams Act. And there's a couple of things that I think there were some issues and some problems with teachers over the Williams Act. So I would like to have it agendized for a future meeting so that you can explain the Williams Act and make it pretty clear as to what people need. And I would like to see there be a checklist for teachers so they know the do's and don'ts, what's expected and what's not. I think that a copy of the Williams Act should be on our website and at each site posted. Also, sufficient notice to the teachers of inspection and allow at least 2 weeks for all of you to know. Maybe some schools knew early and some didn't, so there was some inconsistency there. And I also feel strongly that we shouldn't remove any personal items from a teacher's room unless they either sign off and say it's okay, or they're there and they see. And there needs to be an inventory of what's being taken, so everybody knows where their things are. I know that we're not supposed to bring personal things to our rooms, but every teacher does, and it's our home. So I just think it's really important to respect the privacy, not the privacy, but the personal things that people do bring. So that's the Williams Act. Also, Mr. Stratton, could you give us an update on the thefts? Because I don't know that everybody knows what was stolen from Roosevelt and Lincoln, and how we're going to go about putting those computers back. Would you mind doing that?
Absolutely. I can give a short response to that. First of all, for anyone who doesn't know, Lincoln was broken into initially on a Wednesday night. 3 classrooms were broken into, and the following night, another classroom was broken into. The first night, some Chromebooks were taken and some LCD projectors, and also a couple of personal bags from teachers. The alarm system triggered but didn't get word to our notification, and so we were not able to respond. At that time, we had a roving guard through the whole district. After that first night, we put a static guard at Lincoln, thinking they may come back. They came back the second night, used a crowbar to break into a room. The first night, they used window access, jimmying windows. Broke in through a crowbar. There were no electronics in that classroom per se, and the alarm went off. The guard was there. The reinforcement guard from First Alarm came within 13 minutes. The police were there within 23 minutes. They subsequently tracked an individual to a fence line, to a gated fence line. And there's been no further action there. We had, over that whole weekend, a static guard as well as increased patrolling of our roving guards. The following week, Roosevelt was broken into. Classrooms on the north side of campus, all portables, and portables are more vulnerable by the nature of how they're built. They penetrated, I believe now, 6 classrooms, and the police department is still in the middle of an investigation. Chromebooks were taken, LCD projectors were taken, and a laptop was taken. Very interestingly, the perpetrators were able to penetrate through windows by jimmying windows again. When they came in, they covered motion sensor devices with cloth so they wouldn't trigger. They moved in quickly and broke into a locked cabinet where the Chromebooks were and moved them back out. Didn't disturb desks or chairs or anything. The police are working this as an active investigation. We called our insurance company Keenan, and we're working through Keenan with WeTip, and WeTip is an anonymous call line where you can call and get a reward for leads that may lead to, or that will lead to, the conviction of the person. We've offered a $4,000 reward. WeTip pays $1,000 of that, Keenan pays $1,000, and we'll pay $2,000. The posters should be printed tonight and be available tomorrow, and we'll make sure they're on our website, as well as paper posters around the community of Roosevelt. That's what we know to date, and there are other confidential things involving the police, but I'd prefer that they stay confidential at this time.
And replacement?
Replacements, we had a couple of float LCDs that we got to Lincoln right away. We then flew in replacement LCDs for Roosevelt, got them in the teachers' hands the following day. We are ordering the Chromebooks. We do have insurance that'll cover that, but there's a huge deductible of $2,000. So we're working on that, some of the, and how we tag equipment so we can electronically track that equipment.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Barnes. Mrs. Stratton, thank you very much. Okay, the next item. Anybody else? I don't have any comments at this point. Okay. Other than, we have a fantastic staff, faculty, classified, administration, and parents. All the adults are taking care of one thing, our children. I have one comment to make. And I want to thank you very much for that. Superintendent, anything?
Previous concerns from and result. There was a previous concern about preschool information, and that has been scheduled for a study session on October 27th. The theme is going to be preschool education. And there was another concern from the community member regarding the contract of Mr. Cisneros, and it was sent by the business office to the person who requested it. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Dave? Dave? At this time, I want to recognize individuals in the audience who are willing to address the board on any matter not appearing on the agenda. You may speak. At the same time, we will listen. Thank you very much.
My name is Silvia Capullan, and good evening. I'm President, Superintendent, and the board. I just wanted to say some really nice things here. Miracle for Sylvia. My name is Silvia Capullan. I'm a second grade teacher at Roosevelt, one of the victims of the stolen properties at Roosevelt. And I just wanted to say that tomorrow is Donna's birthday. And I don't know if you guys said that before I got here, Donna Vaughn. It would have been her 54th birthday tomorrow, so we'll have flowers at our school for her. And the second thing that I wanted to address was I wanted to thank the board, especially Mr. Stratton, for physically going in there that day. We were just heartbroken coming back from a 3-day weekend to find out that our classes had been broken into, and those Chrome tops were brand new for the kids. They were so excited. I felt like crying, but of course I have to be strong. I have to pretend I was strong. And then, let me see, of course I had an iPad. We attended a university tech where we didn't get paid to go, but an iPad was given to us about 2 summers ago. That was stolen. Our nice MacBook Pro, that was stolen. My very first computer, our old MacBook, that was stolen. I was lucky to have my iPad and my new Air that was just issued because I was working on it for homework over the weekend. So anyway, but Monica Macias and Mr. Stratton were there immediately at our school, so I appreciate that. And Monica Macias told me today personally, went to tell me that they were going to be replacing our computers for the children. So that'll bring a smile tomorrow to the children. And that's what I wanted to say. Okay, so I appreciate all the hard work, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Very much.
Hello, I'm Sean Henry, a parent. I'd like to thank you for an update on that, on the break-ins, because that was something I saw on the news and is very distressing that that in a time that the district and the state and the federal government is trying to improve things, bring good things to the school. Unfortunately, our schools and our kids are going to be a target. And so whatever technology, whatever security, or however the Chromebooks can be used to where hopefully we can make them not as appealing to be stolen. Or it's unfortunate that that money's got to go to security and be taken away from student learning, but that's kind of the case here. Can I have somebody pass this down to Mr. Kemp? I actually had the opportunity to go to the Brown Act presentation, study session, and the last time I was here, I thought it was really good, asking questions about Title I and things like that, and I was appreciative of Dr. Loza answering some questions, and I felt like it was a good dialogue. And it kind of got tabled, and I see that in the next September meeting, there's going to be a presentation on Title I, which I think is really important because there's a lot of funds that come from that. In terms of the study session, I saw that it was very legal, and I think it's good to know the legal aspects. It did talk about the effectiveness of the school board meeting, and I don't really think it really got into that. I think the 5 areas of an effective school board is a lot of people have different ideas, but again, focusing on student achievement, allocating resources to needs, effective boards, watching the return on their investment, boards using data, and effective boards engaging the community they serve. And so I think open dialogue and communication between teachers, staff members, being able to openly talk, I think brings good discussion and brings good decisions. I believe helps the school board make sound decisions. I've given some papers to Mr. Kim. They're actually the fact sheets that are provided, the SARC reports every year. And something in there, I gave him both Sherwood and Roosevelt. They're both of your schools. And in there, if you look on page 5 and page 6 of each one of those, it shows the allocation of funds that are spent at Sherwood and are spent at Roosevelt. Now, one of the things we talked about last time was that in terms of the planned allocations of school needs, Sherwood was rated number 1 in terms of needs of the district, and Roosevelt was number 2, and that was based off of the application you were presenting. There's a large discrepancy, a $1,226 discrepancy in the last fiscal year where money was talked about. So basically, Sherwood was ranked number 2, and Roosevelt was ranked 11. I'm wondering how there can be such a discrepancy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Hi, good evening. My name's Frank Harden. I'm a parent at Mission Park. I have a lot of kids there. I just wanted to thank you too for the Brown Act training that you received back on August 25th. I attended that. It was very informative by your lawyers. I think, better late than never, right? I don't think there's any question that there were certain things that could have been handled a little more professionally back in June when we were advocating for retention of certain principles. But hopefully, going forward, at least when you sense there's a strong dissension among a group of members of the public, that you'll learn to interact with the public and engage us more professionally. So that's really what we're looking for at this point. I would really wish that there had been some sort of Q&A. I had a number of questions that I would have loved to have asked your lawyer, but that never occurred. I think there should have been some opportunity for public input at the last board meeting. I also wanted to just kind of shifting gears. On a personal note, I do have a personal concern that I wanted to bring to your attention, and it has to do with my child who transitioned from Mission Park over to Washington Middle School. And he was in sixth grade. He's a special needs child, and I don't think that was handled as smoothly as it could have gone. We did engage the school district in the transitional meeting back in May. Mrs. Greenlee was there, Mrs. Bassetti was there, a representative from Washington Middle School was there in the high school district. And so we laid out a plan to ensure that he wouldn't have as many problems as he had had in the first week of school. It was, he's on the autism spectrum, and so he initially was reluctant to go. He literally ran off the second day, and we had to chase him. So we called for an emergency IEP meeting. At that point, I learned that the IEPs hadn't been transmitted from the school district to the high school district. So that's what they've been telling us anyway. I have no reason to doubt them. But the case handler, I'm trying to remember her name, Lan Clayton, she said that there were over 80 IEPs that were not delivered timely. And that because of all the personnel changes that had been occurring in the school district, that the communication had just completely broken down. So I really feel like Christopher's education was derailed for at least the first week of school, but we've got it all worked out now, so it's just a concern. It's not so much a complaint, I just don't want that to happen again. And that's all I really have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else from the audience? Okay, say none. Anybody here wants to speak up to share information that's not on the agenda, but that's okay. We have another day. Next item, please. Consent items. Yes, Dr. Loza. Consent items. That's item number 8. Page 3.
Mr. President, I'd like to pull J, in consent number 5, J through U, because I work for one of those employees of the SCESD group and I need to abstain. So I'd like to ask for a separate vote on those items, J through U, consent 5. They're all SES.
I understand the question. Thank you.
And you're talking about item number 5, J through U?
Yes.
Okay, I want that withdrawn.
No,
Or something.
a separate vote when you do the consent.
Separate vote.
I'd like to,
Who's going to speak up?
I'd like to pull 5A for discussion.
Aside from the Goodfellow?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any others? None? Seeing none? Then we will accept a motion for the other items other than number 5J through U and number 5A. Okay, so the full further discussion. Okay? Do I get a motion on the consent agenda? This is 5J-U and then 5A as an apple for discussion. Those are full.
Okay, I make a motion to approve everything but consent 5J through U and 5A.
Your motion?
I'll second.
Second, Mr. Hoffner. Good. Discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Aye. Any nays? Okay, none. 5-0. Okay, let me go back to item number 5, J dash U. Through U. Okay. Anybody have any questions on that one? No? Seeing none, I'll accept the motion. Yes,
J, you say?
That's J through U, number 5.
Right. I would
Consent is full.
I would like the public to hear how this money is being spent. On these different programs, it'll say 10 children serviced for $909, you know, and are they in the same school? Are they in different schools? I just think the public would like to know how this money is being spent for J, K, L, M, N, O, the rest of them. You know.
Okay.
Mr. Superintendent.
Ms. Huerta, would you like to answer? You want to answer? Okay. This is after school, eh? Yes, okay.
Good evening.
Why do we have these programs?
Good evening, board members, Dr. Loza, and audience. I'm Ila Huerta, and I'm responsible for those contracts. Those are the SES, Supplemental Educational Service, for the Title I schools for years 2 to 5. So those are mandatory, provide tutoring services for those kids. So we're serving different kids throughout the 8 Title I schools, with the exception of Monterey Park, because Monterey Park is still not under program improvement. Does that answer your question, Mr. Foster?
Well, no, I just, these are supplemental services, and people would like to know why we're spending $900 per student for all these kids. And what sort of services do they get?
They get, it's after-school tutorial, so they get services from language arts, which is the reading component, and they get services in math or mathematics. And the 991 cents, that's the per pupil entitlement that we get from the CDE, from the California Department of Education. We don't put that quote; they give it to us.
So every one of these services, they're all for after-school.
They're all for after-school services for the Title I.
Some of it's PE, some of it's language, some of it's math.
Depending, yes, exactly.
Just a variety of activities.
It's a variety. They either get language arts, tutoring, or they get mathematics, depending on which one they get. They score the lowest. These are for the students that are far below basic and below basic in language arts or mathematics.
Yeah, Mr. Superintendent? Yes.
Basic, it's a first hospital. Basic, history has very little to say in this. Absolutely zero, I should say. It's a law in California that a percentage of Title I must be expended in SES programs. And we have to invite and welcome any company that they would like to serve our students. And we are obligated to invite all the parents in Title I, and they can vote and select what services their children are going to be receiving. And we just are the middlemen here. Whatever the parents decided is whatever companies we have to sign contracts according to the number of students that community selected.
Yes, I understand
That was it.
But I just wanted the community to understand, why are we spending, 24,000, 81,000, 14,000? Because people have, they have questions. And I know why we're spending it, but I want the public to understand.
Right. I invited over 2,200 parents to attend the SES fairs. So I know there was a question from the audience.
Yes. Is the instruction provided in English? Is that their focus?
Yes, that's our focus. It's English instruction, and the parents select at the fairs. If the parents had the opportunity to attend any of the 3 fairs that I had, the parents go around. It's a fair, and I give them a set of questions, and they select the providers that they want for their kids. So I try to give them their first choice.
When are they going to begin the services?
I'm here September 15th. I said in the contract September 15th. Okay. So if it gets approved tonight, then I will send the list of students to the contractors, and they are supposed to contact the parents. Either they're going to get services at school or home, depending what the parents want. Then they select that. The parents have that right.
And you said it was all schools except Monterey Park?
No, it's all the Title I schools. Monterey Park is the Title I school, but it's not under program improvement. The schools that I'm servicing right now currently, they're in program improvement year 2 to all the way to year 5 plus.
Any other questions? Seeing none? Okay, I just want to compliment you because I just called in the office and find out about this. And that's exactly almost the same information, which is holistic. Okay? I'm entertaining a motion for item number 5, J through U, and a second.
Probably approved.
So moved?
Second.
Second? Yes. Mr. Hoffman, Kim, the second. Any discussion on that? No? The item? Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Abstain.
And 1 abstention. That's 4 with 1 abstention. It's 4 yes and 1 abstention. Thank you. Next item is 5A. A discussion. Keep it less than 3 minutes. You got me.
I would like to know if we have looked for OT services within our own district, or tried to hire our own occupational therapists so we don't have to contract out Has that been looked into or not? I know it's difficult, but
A couple of years ago, we looked at whether or not it made more sense for us to look at a outside vendor as opposed to trying to find our own staff, and decided to go with the vendor. So that's pretty much what that's what we've continued to do for the last 2 years.
is there a reason why we went with the contract out of Fresno? Cheapest?
You know, I'm sorry, I can bring that information back to you, but I don't have specifics on that at this point in time.
Okay. Would we as a district might consider looking into hiring our own OT? So, because I think, because what is it, 1.8 it says on here? I mean, I think we can get our own, and it would be considerably less than $230,000 to hire our own occupational therapist.
Mr. Nathan, may I?
Yes.
May I, we have a director of special services, and maybe she can answer some of the questions.
So,
If I have Dr. Luce's permission.
You're the boss.
All right, can you answer that?
yes, in terms of your two questions, one, why have we considered other OT services? And going forward, is it feasible to consider having our own occupational therapist? Because in your observation, it's feasible to do so. I've had the opportunity of working with Pat on different occasions with different staffing, and I believe going forward we can do that information gathering. We do have, we work together, posting on EdJoin, calling the universities,
Right.
etc. So going forward, we can do that. As far as using the current company, it's the one that has been used to them, but we can also do more information gathering if there's other services or other staffing agencies that can provide similar services. So I guess in short, from
No, thank you. I got you. No, it makes sense. I know OTs are very difficult, kind of like speech therapists, so it's something to keep on the back burner that if we can float it and hire cheaper. And then just the thing, they're from Fresno, maybe a more local company.
they're actually, the headquarters are in Fresno, they're from Monterey.
Right, no, they have.
Yes.
We do the same in Halston, so I understand, and I've asked, why don't we hire our own OTs in Halston? That's the reason I asked.
Well, I have
Thank
a
you.
question. I just want to know, I'm kind of curious, are there lots of these people floating around, or
No, they
are they scarce? If there's enough, well, let's hire one. Pardon?
You have the floor. What was your question again?
The quantity of OTs available, I mean, that would be a whole lot cheaper than spending $230,000. I mean, we could pay somebody 100 or 120, whatever they're worth, but probably for half.
Okay.
I just wondered how many are available. Go ahead.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I don't know of availability, and I'm sure they are difficult to find, but I will say that in the past, we have had full-time OTs.
Right,
We
I
had
thought so. Probably did.
Jackie Cook for quite a few number of years, and then after her, Barry Roberts for 2-3 years. Since that time, we haven't employed one, and I think it is a good idea to at least look into it and